Welcome to Marketing in the Age of AI, the show for leaders who want real results, not more noise. Join Emmanuel Rose as he helps business builders turn AI from a confusing add-on into a practical advantage with clearer messaging, stronger trust, and smarter systems. If you felt a shift happening in real time, you're not imagining it. In the agentic pivot, Emmanuel calls it the move from experimenting with AI to building with it, so it supports your team, your brand, and your growth. Let's get into it.
Welcome to Marketing in the Age of AI. I'm Emmanuel Rose, and my guest today is Chris Panteli, founder of Linkify and Total Authority. Chris builds authority PR systems that help brands earn Tier 1 media coverage and become primary sources for journalists, podcasts, and platforms. He focuses on narrative ownership, high trust signals, and scalable authority ecosystems that improve search performance, credibility, and discoverability. Over the next few minutes, we'll get practical, how to make PR repeatable, measurable, and a direct contributor to demand. Chris, thanks so much for spending some time with me today.
Thank you so much for having me. Awesome intro as well. I was gripped.
You're like, I want to meet that guy.
Yeah.
Well, that's cool. I'm wondering, how did you get into this overlap of PR and technology? What brought you into this role?
Yeah. Well, we've been doing this now half a decade. When we first started, it was a pure SEO play. It was obviously algorithmically, Google likes to see good quality backlinks and links and coverage that you can earn through earned media routes. So, digital PR allowed us to get huge links from massive publications that weren't available from, Fiverr or some dodgy Google sheet that someone would email you. And yeah, you've had the emails. And then as AI for us has been, first of all, in execution. So I remember getting one of the first AppSumo AI writing tools that was just awful, and actually would have been faster if you just wrote it yourself. But as they've progressed, the ability to research and formulate pitches on one side through the use of AI has been extremely exciting. And then on the other end, now being visible in Tier 1 media is not just good for Google. We know it's good for AI discoverability as well. So it's been quite a journey.
Yeah, that's awesome. And yeah, the press releases are, like you say, such a great authority builder. So press historically has always been like, if you were to hire a publicist and have them pitch for you to Tier 1 publications, you're going to spend, the US, you're going to spend at least $5,000 a month, maybe more, likely more. So how does this stack up in terms of the cost to deploy something like this for a small brand?
Well, I mean, what I teach is that small brands can do this on their own, and they should. We do this as a service for people that have got the budget and they haven't got the time. But small brands can definitely do this. And the best way to start, two routes. One, I think, is these inbound journalist requests. So you can sign up to platforms like Help a Reporter Out or Harrow, Quoted, spelt with a Q. There's Press Plugs, Editorial, Response Source. There is a bunch of these aggregators that pull these requests in. You can also follow journalists that operate inside of your beat within your niche. Follow them on X, Blue Sky, LinkedIn, and they'll do sort of hashtag journal requests directly on their socials as well. So these requests are happening all day, every day. Journalists are writing for Tier 1 publications where they are looking for expertise that can bolster the credibility of the article that they're writing. So if you have expertise that match that criteria and you can provide good commentary, then you have 100% got a shot of being in a Tier 1 publication with a link or a branded mention back to your website.
Gotcha. And then let's see, we kind of live in at least two spaces now, right? We kind of have this influencer level media, and then we have actual journalists. How do you track down the big players that you should be outreaching in those two different buckets?
That's a great question. So actually, what I advise for any business that has not got any tier one earned media via this route of inbound requests, what you want to do is you want to look at your competition, and I can guarantee that some of your competition will have done this, and those links, that coverage that they've earned via inbound requests, they will have somewhere on their website like an as featured in press badge on the website.
Yeah.
Let's say you're in the outdoor sort of gardening niche, you'll see a as featured in Homes and Gardens, Architectural Digest, Better Homes and Gardens, Yahoo style. These are not links that they will have purchased. They may have hired an agency to earn them for them, or they will have done the inbound request route themselves. So, and those opportunities are there. So that's the best thing to do, is just a bit of competition analysis, find out where your competition has got tier one links. And then when you're scouring these requests, match those that your competition's got for the ones that you're going to respond to.
I love it. Yeah. And then I like looking at competition, and then maybe Claude would provide some insight into that also. Huh?
Oh yeah. I mean, if you sign up to Harrow, you get emails 3 times a day. Take like a week snapshot, throw it into Claude, ask Claude to analyze these requests and, which ones are worth going for your specific niche, which domains are good, highly authoritative. Claude will give you a great answer straight away, and then you'll know exactly what to target.
Yeah, I love it. When you're coaching your clients or when you're pitching on their behalf, these tier one journalists and pods, what's the research and the framing and the outreach sequence that you're usually implementing in order to get good results?
So for inbound requests, it's really easy because they are very, very exact in what it is that they're looking for. So it might be a journalist who is writing an article for realtor.com. And the request from the journalist is, I'm writing an article for realtor.com on tips on how to, on home staging. I need 2 or 3 real estate brokerage owners or realtors to give me these comments. So if you come across that request and you are a realtor and you have any sort of knowledge of home staging, then that is yours to pitch, and it's yours to lose as well. How we formulate those pitches and collate our research and try and produce like a linguistic tone and flurry within the copy that we produce, that's the sort of differentiator. That's what the journalist wants to see, is that sort of quotable line, or that slightly, not necessarily like 100% unique look on something. There's only so many ways you can home stage a property. But if you put that information forward in a way that looks human written and makes a connection, and it's something that's going to resonate with their readership, then that's when you start having a good shot of being included.
And then, so how do you make it human written? What's your idea on that now? Because I know everybody's using Claude to clean it up, or maybe even generate. So I guess what's your coaching on that now?
Okay, so this is my absolute playbook for it, and it works like a treat. Journalists are using AI detection tools. They're using things like Pangram, Undetectable. These tools, as you know, it's like a game of who's going to like break first. Like these tools, they'll flag Bible verses as 100% AI. So it's a game, but I tell you what works. And this is a playbook that you can use straight off the bat. You want to get an AI dictation tool. So I've got a Mac, Voice Inc. There's things like Mac Whisper. Get like a lifetime deal on an AI dictation tool, so where you just press a button on your keyboard and you can speak. Do your research. Any like things that you're unsure of, like use AI, use ChatGPT, do deep research, pull it all together, put it into bullet points with your own sort of opinions as well, and have what your answer is going to be there in front of you on the screen. Then you want to put an AI dictation note, and you want to have absolutely no regard whatsoever for ums, ahs, pauses, sneezes, doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Get that information out and try and inject your own use of the English language, we've all got our own idioms, our own sayings. We've all got our own unique style and way of speaking. So make sure when you are reading through these bullet points, you are adding that unique flurry into it that makes you. And you don't need to worry about like, or have I, if you can't think of something, just be silent for like a minute until you're like, okay, that would be good, and then say it, right? So you're going to be left with this big block of jumbled, perhaps nonsensical text, and then you're going to use a master prompt inside of Claude or ChatGPT, and you're going to say, retain as much of this original text as humanly possible, but rewrite it in order to improve the formatting and the narrative logic. That's the key driver. Then you're going to get a reformatted piece of text, which is completely in your own original voice, will almost always one shot past AI detection and will resonate with the journalists.
Love it. Yeah. Well, what's the structure for like the story that you're telling the journalists in that speech that you're giving to the transcription?
Yeah, that's a good question. And it's all going to be down to what the journalist has asked for. And actually, this is a real important driver on how successful you'll be. You want to follow the journalist's instructions to the letter. If the journalist says, I'm looking for 2 or 3 300-word tips on home staging, don't send them a PDF essay or like a billion words or a video. Like, that's not what they've asked for. They're going to be annoyed. If they've asked for, I'm looking for someone who is a licensed realtor in Texas. I've got some questions, but before I ask the questions, send me over your LinkedIn profile. Then just do exactly that. Like, just do what they've asked for and follow the thread from there. That's my biggest advice. And that's the biggest thing that turns journalists off, is not following their instructions to the letter.
And it seems so obvious when you describe it, but yet people want to be overly helpful or anticipate, and it doesn't really help the journalists with their project.
Yeah, but like you said, like intuitively, it's like, well, they've asked for this, but I could give them more, and so I'll make the effort. But in fact, it's like counterproductive. Yeah.
Talk to me a little bit about who your ICP is and who you like to work with.
So we like PR friendly niches and businesses that have like personal brands with like demonstrable credentials inside of that PR friendly niche. So that's super easy when it's things like law firms, because it's a law firm. We want to work with a lawyer. Like, boom, that's easy. If it's a real estate brokerage, we want to work with a realtor. If you are flogging, I don't know, some form of medicine as an e-commerce store, that's fine. If you've got like a licensed MD on the team, or that's the owner of the company, that's great as well. PR friendly niches range from the things that lifestyle, finance, any sort of professional services. Home services is great as well. We work with loads of home service businesses that are like, their competition isn't doing this at all, and they think they'll come to us and say, like, I'm a plumber, or I own a HVAC business. Is this something I can do? And it's like, yeah, this is absolutely something you can do. I'm sitting in 30-degree heat wave weather in the UK right now. That's all journalists are talking about. Like, the opportunities are there for you. Yeah.
Right. I love it. And then talk to me about some of the projects that you're most proud of in terms of either biggest publications or best results for your clients.
We've worked with one Texas-based realtor for probably close for as long as we've been around in business. And as we've sort of built on what it is that we do and take a more like traditional PR approach alongside that link building approach, in as many weeks we've had him as a talking head on a CNBC TV show. New York Times went to his house to do an op-ed piece with a photographer. Wow. Yeah. Housing Wire podcast, Bloomberg talking head TV spot as well. I mean, these opportunities are legit, like, market brand building activities. And as the more you work with the client, the more that you put them in front of media, the more these opportunities compound on each other as well.
Well, that is exciting for you, and then also obviously for the client, because they're really feeling like they're building that brand and they're getting good, amazing value.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. And then talk a little bit about how you connect these PR campaigns to the top line and driving sales.
So, I mean, it all depends what you want to achieve. If it's a pure sort of organic traffic SEO play, then building the best links in the world via digital PR is going to improve your domain strength, and as your domain strength improves, Google will increase your keyword ranking, send you more traffic, and then you can convert that traffic at a better rate and make more money. When it comes to like AI visibility and brand building, it is more tricky to measure. Like the realtor that we work with, it's hard for him to, or for us and him to see how that CNBC TV appearance like resulted in like more sales.
Yeah.
But we know that it's like a real brand building and marketing initiative. And these things come from things like you can see increased branded search inside of Google. So while it's not like a one-for-one great, like perfect way of tracking it, like the more that people are seeing your name out there, the more they'll go into Google and either search for your name or your business name branded. And as we start to see that increase in branded search, that's when we know we're having a direct impact on building the brand for the business, the founder, or, you know, collectively together. So it's one good way of doing it. AI visibility tracking tools. We're doing a lot of work with Zero Rank, which is one of the newer ones, and that doesn't use the API in order to like run prompts. Yeah, which is great, because that's one of the issues is when it's using the API, you're not getting a real so that's great as well. But again, I mean, you know, until we get like, I don't know, ChatGPT releasing numbers via their ad platform, and we can, even then we'll never know, because it's just, there won't be any single point of data, because it's, the possibilities are just endless, aren't they? What people could search for.
we had such tight attribution 3 years ago.
Yeah.
and then the LLMs came in and screwed it all up.
So, I mean, yeah, exactly. Yeah. But it'd be exciting to see who figures it out first, because that's where
I actually did a show on that this morning, and just talked about just doing it manually, right? And going in and asking those top 10 questions.
Yeah.
And seeing what the results are, and then building out content that supplants your competitors, where they're on top of you and all that. Unfortunately, this manual work is what we're trying to do to figure out and understand as the marketplace drifts on this AEO search issue.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, that's what I like about Zero Rank, is that they do it non-API, so you can put in these top 10 prompts. It'll run them every hour or every day or whatever it is, you know, automated. It doesn't take into account, obviously, the personalization of like an individual account. And as we know, that is huge. Like if I ask ChatGPT what's the best link building agency, it tells me Linkify. Like, really?
Yeah.
Because it knows I'm Linkify.
Yeah.
But the good thing about, you know, these prompts being run, you know, in browser as opposed to API is it's like doing it on a big sample, and you'll get like a sort of a rough estimation as to what it is. So yeah, I think that's right. Like people are still going to be making those searches. I'll still go into ChatGPT and say like, I don't know, best X for Y, or what's the best, as opposed to like, you know, a 30 sentence conversation that eventually leads me to where it is that, you know, I want to go. But it would be interesting.
Yeah. That's cool. I love the work that you're doing, and I'm excited to hear about the success that you've had. For brands that don't have the budget to implement this, you do have some resources for them, don't you?
Yeah, I've got a cheat sheet which they can get from linkify.io/cheat-sheet, and that gives you everything you need to know to go and get your first 5 pieces of tier 1 coverage for free yourself. Just needs a bit of time.
All right. Well, thank you for that generous contribution to the marketing world. I appreciate that. And the link will be in the show notes for sure. And Chris, best way to get in touch with you if people want to have a conversation?
Yeah, LinkedIn is good, Chris Panteli. Or you can email me, chris@linkify.io.
All right. Well, thank you so much for spending some time with me this morning. And I sure wish you the best going forward, Chris.
Thank you so much for having me, Emmanuel. It's been great.
All right. Hang on for me while I close the show. Good stuff from Chris Panteli at Linkify, and the work they're doing to get clients tier 1 press coverage, not just for the value of the coverage, but also for the generative engine optimization, which is a critical activity. And if you haven't started implementing on the behalf of your brand's GEO, you got to get into it. And One of the things that you can do is to go to Linkify and get that cheat sheet and pull down that plan to get some tier 1 PR. I sure hope that you enjoyed this episode and this conversation I had with Chris Panteli from Linkify. And I also hope that you continue to explore how Claude and Chat and Copilot can help you win back hours from your work week. And if you're successful at that, you'll be getting 5 or 6 hours a week back. And with that time, you'll continue to upskill. You'll spend it with your friends and family, and you get outside into nature away from the screens. This is Emmanuel Rose, Marketing in the Age of AI.
Thanks for listening to Marketing in the Age of AI. Be sure to subscribe wherever you heard this podcast so you never miss a future episode. Your copy of Authentic Marketing in the Age of AI is available at Amazon.com or EmmanuelRose.com. You can also connect with Emmanuel on LinkedIn. Thanks again for listening, and we'll see you next time.